Hello and welcome to F1 Fantasy Scout. We will be discussing the team selection for upcoming race week and some of the transfer plans heading into race week. But let's first have a look at the team's performance in race week 2. First up is the obvious pick of Max Verstappen, who had a solid race on Sunday, gaining 13 places to end up with second place finish, while also being voted for driver of the day after starting from 15th place on the grid due to a drive shaft failure, which forced his retirement in qualifying on Saturday. As a result, he rewarded the fantasy managers with 61 points for race week 2. Zhou Guanyu was unable to convert his Q2 finish from qualifying into points after he started 11th place on the grid. Overall, his 8 overtakes took his total for race week to 6 points. Sergio Perez showed excellent race pace to claim first victory for the season after starting from pole position. Fernando Alonso did lead the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix for few opening laps, but fell short to keep hold of the chasing Red Bulls of Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen and ultimately finished the race at third while managing to score 46 points after application of the 2x booster. Lance Stroll had an unlucky end to Saudi Arabian Grand Prix after he had to retire from the race due to an engine recovery problem. Red Bull had an excellent week in terms of F1 fantasy after they scored 95 points in total while making 11 overtakes and 13 places gained during the race. Fantasy score of Aston Martin was greatly affected by the retirement of Lance Stroll from the race, which reduced their total to 19 points for race week 2. Taking a pun on Fernando Alonso with 2x booster didn't went according to the plan, as Max Verstappen started from 15th place in the race, which ultimately handed the advantage to those fantasy managers who handed their 2x booster to Verstappen, as he gained 13 places during the race, while also making 10 overtakes and finishing at second place at the end of the race. This ultimately affected the ranking of my team. Another contributing factor to rank loss of my team was the retirement of Lance Stroll from the race, which resulted in negative 20 points. Overall, my team scored 242 points in race week 2, taking the season total to 495 points. Although there is a slight rank drop to 530k from 430k previously, but it's just the start of the season and hopefully we can build our way up in upcoming races. Let's now move on to the transfer plans for race week 3. I am planning to use one of the two available free transfers while rolling one onto next week. The transfer out I am planning to make is of Lance Stroll to Yuki Tsunoda, because going with triple Red Bull and triple Aston Martin just narrows down the chances to gain rank from elsewhere on the grid. And it is also a riskier approach, as we saw in the last week with the retirement of Lance Stroll from the race. Yuki Tsunoda has been performing consistently in the previous 2 race weeks, as he made 9 overtakes while gaining 9 places during that period. And in the recent race week, he narrowly missed out on the 10th place finish after a strong battle with Kevin Magnussen. Priced at just 4.8 and selected by only 8% of the fantasy managers, Yuki Tsunoda could prove to be a great differential pick if he manages to continue his good performances. Now let's discuss the possible team selection for race week 3. First up is Max Verstappen, who once again is a leading contender to win the Australian Grand Prix, as he showed a great recovery drive from 15th place in Saudi Arabian Grand Prix to finish the race at second place. Verstappen also is a strong option for 2x booster, while his ownership could lead to rank loss for non-owners if he scores big amount of points at the Australian Grand Prix. Zhou Guanyu is one of the budget picks who makes high number of overtakes, which leads to rank boost, as he is just 14% selected. Next one is the winner of Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, who is expected to carry this performance on to next race. While Verstappen is highly owned, the ownership of Sergio Perez additionally could prove to be a differential. Fernando Alonso, priced at just 8.5, is an extreme budget pick who has once again showed his potential in the previous race by achieving the 100th podium of his career. His 80% ownership could lead to a rank loss if he is not on, and Alonso also proves to be an alternate option for 2x booster for someone looking elsewhere than Max Verstappen. Yuki Tsunoda is a final driver pick for race week 3, who has been performing consistently well from back end of the grid. He could prove to be a great differential pick at 8% selected, while also offering a budget value at just 4.8. Red Bull is expected to repeat the performance of Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in the upcoming race week, as they look more settled early into the season as compared to other frontrunners. Due to the high ownership of all the Red Bull assets, the Triple Up selection is a more viable option for the rank boost. Last selection for Race Week 2 is Aston Martin, as it is expected to challenge the frontrunners for a podium place while it showed a great race pace in the previous race week. Priced at just 6.8, Aston Martin looks an extreme budget pick. One downside though is a huge ownership which can be covered by selecting one of the Aston Martin drivers in combination. So this is our team selection for the race week 3, with Verstappen handed the 2x booster to avoid potential rank drop, as he might be the most selected captain for upcoming race week. All the drivers and constructors are highly owned with the exception of Zhou Guanyu at 15% and Yuki Tsunoda at 8%, towards whom I am looking forward to for delivering points other differential option. That's all for today's video. Consider giving it a like and subscribe to the channel for future F1 Fantasy videos.